Welcome to our channel. In this video, we are going to discuss about the sericulture. Sericulture is the process of cultivating silkworms and extracting silk from them. Caterpillars of the domestic silk moth, Bombyx mori, are the most commonly used silkworm species in sericulture. So the Bombyx mori is the scientific name of the silk moth. It was discovered by the Chinese 5000 years ago. The mother of sericulture is Zi Lingxi. So the interesting story behind the discovery of silkworm is once upon a time, long ago, in an ancient kingdom of China, there lived Queen Zi Lingxi, wife of Emperor Huang Di, who was said to have ruled China is about 3000 BC. She was interested in the introduction of silkworm rearing, arts, and invention of the loom. One day she was sat under her favorite mulberry tree in the garden sipping a tea and admiring the beautiful spring flowers. Something fell into her teacup. She jumped up, horrified, and spilled the tea all over her lovely dress. Her ladies in waiting rushed to wipe off the stains, but Lady Lindsay stopped them. On top of the tea stain on her dress, she spotted a lovely web of the most exquisite threads she had ever seen before. She carefully picked up the delicate threads come from the silkworm's cocoon where it fell from mulberry tree. She sat on her loom and started working out a complicated pattern. It was the most exquisite piece she had even woven. This discovery of silk was celebrated in great feasting and rejoicing throughout the land. Later, when commercial relations were established between China and the rest of the world, the father of Indian sericulture is Tipu Sultan. So the reason behind the father of sericulture in India is the silkworm eggs and the technology of making silk was brought to India by Buddhist monks from China through cotton. Also, the industry is said to have spread to Tibet when a Chinese princess carrying silkworm eggs and mulberry seed in her headdress married the king of cotton in Tibet. About the 2.5 centuries ago, silk was introduced into the Karnataka by Tipu Sultan, the ruler of the state. Today, it was the biggest silk producing center in India. Sericulture introduced in Tamil Nadu from the border area of Karnataka during early 1960s. Now, Tamil Nadu stands number one in bivalentine silk production in India. The types of silkworm. First one is mulberry silkworm and the second one is Tasar silkworm, third is oak Tasar silkworm, fourth one is Eri Silkworm and the last one is Muga silkworm. So we are going to discuss in detail about the each type of silkworm. The first type is a mulberry silkworm. So the commercial silk produced in the world comes from this variety and often silk generally refers to mulberry silk. Mulberry silk comes from the silkworm Bombyx mori, which solely feeds on the leaves of mulberry plants. So it's a very interesting, and the worm is very harmless. So the worm, when it hatch, very minute in structure. It will look like a hair-like structure. So black is coffee color. So it's a very harmful worm. The silkworm grow within 30 to 40 days. So the mulberry silk feeds only the mulberry leaves. So there are many types of mulberry varieties are there, so like the MR2 and so on. So, but the mulberry silkworm solely feeds only the mulberry plants. These silkworms are completely domesticated and reared indoors. So it's need a very small room is required for the cultivation of practices. So in India, the major mulberry silk producing states are Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, West Bengal, Tamil Nadu and Jammu and Kashmir, which together account for 92% of the country's total mulberry raw silk production. So these are the major states of producing mulberry silk productions. Then the second one is Tasar silkworm. Tasar or Tasha is copperish color. So that is the mulberry silkworm cocoon is look like a golden color. So like yellow, and the seed production cocoon color is a white. But the Tasar silkworm colors are copperish in color. Chorus silk mainly used for furnishings and interiors. It is less lustrous than mulberry silk but has its own feel and appeal. Lustrous means that it's something glittering. Tasar silk is generated by the silkworm Antheria mylitta, which mainly thrives on the food plants asan and arjun. So the asan and arjun leaves they feed. Rearing is conducted in nature and trees in the open. In India, Tasar silk is mainly produced in the states of Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh, Orissa, besides Maharashtra, West Bengal and Andhra Pradesh. So the Tasar culture is the mainstay for many tribal communities in India. So the most of the tribal peoples of the above said states they are practicing. Then the third type, Oak Tasar silkworm. It is a finer variety of Tasar generated by the silkworm Antheria proeli. So this is the area where Oak Tasar silkworm rearing at Nagaland in India, which feeds on naturally food plants. So in India, which feeds on natural food plants of oak, found in abundance in the sub-Himalayan belt of India, covering the states of Manipur, Himachal Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh, Assam, Meghalaya, and Jammu and Kashmir. The China is the major producer of oak tashar silk, and this comes from another silkworm which is known as Antheria pernii. So the diagrammatic representations, the picture shows the oak tashar silk cocoon, the first picture, and the second picture is a oak tashar silk, and the last two pictures is a tashar silk sarees. The fourth one is Eri Silkworm. The Eri Silkworm, also known as Endi or Irandi. Eri is a multi-voltine silk spun from open-ended cocoons like other varieties of silk. Eri silk is the product of domesticated silkworm Philosomia ricini that feeds mainly on castor leaves. The scientific name of Philosomia ricini comes from the species name is represented by the castor plant botanical name, that is the Ricinus communis. So that's why it's named as ricini. Agriculture is a household activity practiced mainly for protein-rich pupa, a delicacy for the tribal. So the tribal community have the pupa because they are rich in protein. Resultantly, the Eri cocoons are open-mouthed and spun. The silk is used indigenously for the preparation of chadas, that is, wraps for own use by these tribals. In India, this culture is practiced mainly in the northeastern states and Assam. So it is also found in Bihar, West Bengal, and Orissa. The last type of silkworm is a Muga silkworm. This golden yellow color silk is the prerogative of India and the pride of Assam state. It is obtained from a semi-domesticated multi-volatile silkworm. There is a scientific name Antheria assaminensis. These silkworms feed on the aromatic leaves of shom and shallow plants and or reared on the trees similar to that of Tasar silk. Muga culture is specific to the state of Assam and an integral part of the tradition and culture of the state. The Muga silk, a high value product, is used in products like saris, mekalas, chadas, etc. So the pictures shown is the first one is the sari worn by using the Muga silk, and the second picture is a chadas. Then we are going to see about the economic importance of sericulture. The sericulture is the only industry that gives a large number of job opportunities. So the process of sericulture is considered a tool for the economic reconstruction of rural areas. So the sericulture emerged as a meaningful and viable agro-based cottage industry. It is being participating in more than 30 countries across tropical and temperate regions produce silk. The combined production adds up to about 75,000 metric tons of raw silk in a year. Presently, the China, India, Japan, South Korea, and Brazil are the leading silk producing countries. Japan, which was once a leading silk producer until 1978, at present it is producing less than that of India and occupies only the third place in world raw silk production and slowly shifted to other commercial enterprises. China's temperate country ranked first in the world raw silk production and account for 53,432 metric tons among tropical countries. India is ranked second in the world mulberry raw silk production of the major producer of silk and accounting for 14,305 metric tons of raw silk from 1,76,065 hectares of mulberry garden annually. So it is directly and indirectly sericulture is providing jobs for about 10.67 lakh pupils. 1 hectare of mulberry garden provides year-long continuous job for 13 persons. So the sericulture farmers are categorized into several sections like reelers, weavers, cocoon growers, and traders. Hence, most of the income which was generated from sericulture will be going back to the villages. There are various sections involved in sericulture which include management of mulberry garden, harvesting of leaves, rearing the silkworm, and weaving, which can be done by women. Approximately 58% of the employees in sericulture are women. The farmers who have fewer lands can also start sericulture. If the silkworm is reared in approximately 3 by 4th of the land, then it would support 3 members in the family, and for rearing there is no requirement to hire someone. So the sericulture is a good business. Okay, thank you.